Cool beans. Let's go ahead and do one more. Let me go ahead and send a message real quick because I think that there was a team that wanted to get set up after this. Let me go ahead and get the game started, and I'll be right with you. Okay. So we got the evil demonic skin. Ooh, different lineup this time. Okay, was this a training game? So this is coaching with Cow. Basically, there's a bunch of people in the community. I get everyone together, and I basically go in observer mode and kind of give coaching tips for a lot of the people. And so it's not any specific one team, and I do a variety of different people. And then I upload all these videos onto YouTube eventually so that they can see my perspective as I comment through. I do little debriefs, but I always feel like I'm just dumping a whole bunch of, like, text at them, and so it's really hard for them, so they can always view the actual play of it. As for punishment for failure, yes, we actually cut off fingers every time they lose a game, and then once you get down to 2 or 3 fingers and you're no longer able to actually play, we put you on Xbox controllers and go win tournaments. And yes, that was a joke.
No, if someone can't figure that as a joke, then they have an issue.
So masteries are activated. So is it now required to max out the character you play? Well, fair enough. No. I feel that there's been a lot of time that masteries don't really take long, especially if you actually know how to I hate to use the word grind, but they don't really take too long to get. That being the case, they are at best a 10% difference. It might not seem like much, but it does add up over time, and so I don't think masteries will put you over the edge. Like, if you're in a perfectly even game, masteries might eke out a win when there could have been a loss, but if you're, if you're losing, masteries aren't going to make any big of a difference. Like, the game is more skill-based than that, than numbers for the most part. I mean, yes, 4 hunters with 10% damage, that means you're taking 10% more damage overall. But, I mean, at the same time, like, I don't know. I have mixed feelings. Like, I don't feel that masteries make or break the game, but a lot of people do, and I don't necessarily agree with them because I feel that, oh, I like the start. Aw, he killed the stupid poopers. I love it when you can get 2 or 3 poopers back here and you just go to stage 3 without having to, like, ever leave. It's fantastic. So ooh, looks like Gobi found him. Fantastic. So good start. They found him at stage 1, so they should be able to go ahead and put pressure on him. The nice thing about this is that the Trapper is going to be able to stay up, but Hank is going to be the big target. The nice thing about that is that Tharmak is going to be able to go ahead and cover Hank, as well as Hank using his orbital to protect himself as well. So now he's going to get out of there as much as possible. As always, you always want to kind of do a little bit of damage with Kraken, just floating backwards, especially at full armor, just because against Laz, you kind of want to do that kind of sustained damage across the board as much as possible. So I don't feel that masteries buff the hunters. I agree with the developers. The developers say that they balance the game around all the hunters having their masteries on. So it's not that you're getting buffed. It's kind of like playing more in line with what you should be capable of more than anything else. So the game has actually been balanced more around having masteries than not. But we aren't playing with buffs, though. I mean, buffs have been ridiculously broken for a very long time. I do like the fact that they are getting a little bit of attention, so it's going to be exciting. It's been so long since I've actually played. Like, every now and then when I do play with pugs and I see an albino, I'm like, what the crap? Like, it really throws me off because I always forget. Because I probably played maybe 2 to 3% of all my games have actually had buffs. All the rest have all been custom games. I haven't done very much pugging in general. I feel bad for pugging because I consider myself to be a pretty good monster, and so I don't really like pugging because I don't really learn anything, and it usually just gives a bad experience for the hunters because they don't really, I feel like most of the time they don't really have a chance. And I know that sounds kind of egotistical and things like that, but I kind of, ooh, somebody's getting... And so it's kind of like when my friends play against me. I don't like to play against my friends all the time because they kind of, I don't know. There's only so many times before you get killed and stuff. So I try and stay away from pubs as much as possible. And I really stay away from pubs as a hunter because I'm so used to playing on organized teams that people in pubs as a hunter just drive me up the wall. And I don't want to go around yelling at people because that's not fair to them. But I expect a higher quality because I'm so used to something else. Whoa. That was very unusual. Like, he straight up DC'd like instantly. I normally they kind of sit there for a little bit, but that was unusual. That was weird. So we're gonna go ahead and see if we can get Striker back in here.
Should be easy.
Yes, and there is, supposedly we're going to see if ranked play fixes that in general, so you have a more casual environment to work with. So I think they're just kind of keeping him slow, but I don't think they're, oh, there's the dome. So, strikers should be able to go ahead and make a decent amount out of this, so they should be able to go ahead and take that. There's Tharmak doing his damage. I like Ghostwalker staying far away. Kraken's slowly getting to him, though. I like he's going away. It is a stage 1 Kraken, so I like that Laz didn't immediately pop his cloak. I feel that was a smart move. Usually you want to put your cloak when you've gotten hit a couple of times as Laz, because having that, it's better to save it for a rainy day. Oh, nice. So, good punishment. Tharmak's taking a little bit of a beating. Let's see if we can get support to kind of cloak him and shield him. So it looks like he's finally losing his armor. And here comes some mortars. Really good aggression from Tharmak. Really good job. So Dead and Tharmak are both relatively low, so Laz needs to be a little bit careful. And now that the monster has permanent health or damage going, it's going to be a little bit easier. So he might be able to go ahead and get one strike on somebody, slow down Laz and all them, and I feel like that Hank barrage was a little bit wasted. Not only can the monster now not have to worry about evolving in a cave, he can do it anywhere, but also I feel like he probably could have saved it for a defensive maneuver. But looks like he's going to evolve in the cave anyway, which isn't a bad idea because against Kraken it forces Laz to be a little bit closer in. So we'll see if he evolves right here with Gobi spotting him. Let's see how they set up. Ooh, blind dome. Oh, nice. Nice. So now that the Kraken's got his damage skills, it's going to be pretty interesting. Ooh, that might miss. Nope, got a hit. So it looks like support's going to go down really quick. So Hank is going to be the big focus for Kraken, just because he's the only one that can really protect the Trapper, and the assault. And it looks like I don't see... Oh, cool. Looks like the Tyrant is outside the dome. So as long as they don't piss him off, he should be okay. And there's Laz just sitting there, glowing his nugs. I like that he's outside, but I also don't like that there's no weak points being thrown. I feel like that would be helping the damage a little bit. So it looks like he might be able to go ahead and down him and Tharmak at the same time. So right now there should be a lot of pressure. It looks like the Meldity and Tharmak should be doing tons of pressure. And again, I feel like Laz came in here way too early. There was no reason for him to come in. You had the perfect setup. Again, I know that feeling, that tunnel vision, and I feel that that's exactly what happened. And so I think that would have been a really good setup because Tharmak was still alive. He was doing a ton of damage, and there's no need for Ghost Hawk to come in just yet. Like the body wasn't even starting to get on the death phase. Good game. GG.
GG.
You gotta stop being so antsy to jump on those bodies.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Let me go ahead and back out.
Yeah, I mean, that time I wasn't. He just spotted me, so I had to cloak and get out. But he cornered me and I couldn't get up.
No worries. I do like that you do wait outside of domes because that does make it so that you are guaranteed safe. You don't have to worry about dodging and things like that. At stage 1, you don't really need to do that just because the damage is usually pretty light, that you can kind of get away with that. But once you're at stage 2, you were in a really good spot. I saw the Kraken just staring at you, and I was just thinking, it was just a kind of a cool moment in that game. And then you came in a little early, and I was like, oh wow, like because the body wasn't even like down. It was still in the bleeding out phase, and Tharmak was about half health. The Trapper was relatively full, and like the monster was already taking a ton of damage. That I feel that you probably could have put a lot of pressure. That the monster probably wouldn't have stuck around for an extra 20-30 seconds against that kind of damage, just because he was already hurting really bad. But otherwise, a good job. I feel that your splits are a little clumped up. Usually you're a little too consistent or a little too spread out, so a little bit tighter between them. It's a little awkward just because, like, do you go 3-1 or 2-2 with Laz? Like, it's really hard with Laz in general just to do a good split. And I still don't know what I feel like is a good optimum split for him. That being the case, though, I really do like Striker going back. Normally as Kraken, I don't like people going backwards, throwing Banshee Mines and Vortexes, but whenever there's a Laz, I always do that, always encourage it, because all that little damage slowly adds up, and if you can get into a dome and everyone's got 10% health missing here, 20% here, it makes for a good opportune moment, and then you can just down a whole bunch of people at once, which is a really scary prospect. Like whenever I play Laz, if I see half my team under 50% health, it really worries me, because I don't like, because if you down 2 or 3 people at the same time, Laz has a really hard time trying to get everyone up. But really good games otherwise. Really good pressure from Tharmak. Meldity, you're pretty on spot. I just feel that the Laz was just a little too eager, and it probably cost you a few times. But otherwise, really good show.
All right.
That being the case, I will, let's go ahead and let's back out to the channel. I think I have another team coming in, but if not, or as soon as that gets taken care of, I'm probably going to shoot off for the night.